today, take a little bit of a break from some of the other stuff we're doing. We're gonna work on this, the gym floor rolls. I just brought one up and dawned on me I should probably document this mess too. So they came on a pallet and I was at the beach, so my neighbors were awesome enough to meet them, and they wanted to drop it up at the top of the road about a quarter mile away. Anyhow, they dropped the pallet with all three of them down from the other garage door. They weigh 350 pounds apiece, so I got the hand truck and I just got to pull them up the hill, and then I'm gonna see if I can con my buddy. He's on his way over here. He doesn't know that this is about to happen. See if I can con him and help me lift these in. So again, they're like 350 a piece. So we'll just try to get them thrown in here, and then they're gonna be laid on this side. I'm gonna have to actually roll them all the way out, trim 4 feet off that side, and I'll have the finished end here, which will basically go right along that post, right in front of that register. And then this will all be rubber flooring for all the gym equipment. So stay tuned. You want Mezzanine on this side? Good? I'm just pushing all the way against that. He's a good bitch.
So you sure you spec this out for?
Oh, I have none saved.
They don't make small holes?
All right, so we got them in here, but this is gonna be a pain in the ass because they wrapped the finished side out. So that means I've got to unroll the entire thing, roll it out, flip it, cut it. Yeah, it's gonna be annoying. So it'll be 1, 2, 3 rolls. That will leave 2 feet. I've got 4 feet extra on each roll. I'm just gonna cut that in half, and I'm gonna run those little pieces down there. And the stuff seams together pretty well, but you'll never see that seam because it'll be under a bunch of equipment and the weights and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't gonna pay like $600 for another roll that I would only use a third of. So we'll see how this goes. Well, little did I know that their ends were not even close to square. So I had originally intended on cutting my end and putting that up against the wall so that you wouldn't see it, and have a nice factory square edge facing, you know, the walkway there. But as it turns out, I realized after the second roll that their cuts were way off. So I sit here and stare at it for a couple seconds, wondering what the heck I did, if I measured it wrong, if the mat shrunk, well, I don't know. But I ended up trimming out an extra inch or so off of them just to square up their edges, and luckily they gave me a little extra mat to play with on each of them. And those things were hard to move.
got to double them over just to get a handle.
Well, that was I don't know, that was a learning experience. The rolls from the factory did not have square edges, and I learned that the hard way. So I ended up having to shorten them all up. Luckily, they did leave me, you know, an inch or two of play. They're supposed to be 25-foot rolls. They were maybe just a few inches long, each of them. I wasn't really sure how to transition this corner, but I just decided to cut that so that the register will sit level. Anyhow, I'm going to come back, I think, and just use some sort of tape to tighten the seams. But I mean, this stuff, it butts up pretty good. These are my cut edges, so I mean, there's some ugliness to be expected. But all in all, you can barely see the long ones, and they're not tight yet. I think I can squeeze them together and kind of get those snugged up. But all in all, it feels good. It's pretty firm. It's not as hard as a rock as some of the stuff. It's called 15mm impact rubber, and this is like I forget what they call it, some sort of like rock solid gray. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's not your traditional black. I just wanted something that wasn't all black. This might hide the dust and they're a little bit better. So anyhow, I got this from rubberflooring.com or something like that. And it said the wait time was going to be 2 or 3 months, and it actually showed up in 2 weeks. So pleasantly surprised. Other than a little hiccup with the delivery, it's looking pretty good. So I'm ready to move equipment in here. So I've basically got the whole top of the mezzanine done. I used double-sided tape. Didn't really get the seams together as well as I would like to, but I don't know. Maybe they'll fix themselves. All the registers are in. I've really just kind of been focused on getting this top part done before I knock out the final piece down here on the floor. So found a mirror on Facebook for free. I got the stereo up. I got the workstation. Good Wi-Fi in here. AC is cranking. Like this, the whole top side is basically done. Pretty happy how it turned out. I ended up using PVC up here because it was cheaper than the wood, which is crazy. So anyhow, had a little bit of an issue last night. Real quick, so finished the stairs, and I think they actually turned out pretty nice. I got these rails from Home Depot. They're like aluminum on the inside, PVC on the outside, but again, only necessary to pass Virginia State inspection. But yeah, I think the stairs look pretty good, and again, I'll take this off once it's all inspected. So I came in here and did this self-leveling sealant in the expansive joints, but on the second tube, the tube ruptured in the middle of laying it down, so it created a disaster. I ended up pouring it out of the bottom of the caulk tube, and then trying to wipe it up with the leftover piece of that rubber flooring. I think that this is going to come off with the sanders, but anyhow, I got the whole downstairs emptied out. I'm ready to get ready and tackle these floors. So it'll be just like a clear coat on top of all this. But you'll see over here I've got all these sanding discs. I gotta come across a 20-inch buffer. But basically, I'm gonna work my way up through all these different grit sanding discs. I think I go from 80 up to 1,000 or something like that. And then these diamond embedded pads, and then I work my way up to the red. I think I finished with the white one. But anyhow, that should prep this nicely for the sealant, and that's going to be this next project this week. I'm going to try and document as much as I can, but I'll get all this floor, the tire tracks, everything, all the mud cleaned off, so that it looks nice again, and then seal it, and then I'm going to start using this bad boy. and I guess I'll get some vinyl cove base to go around the entire perimeter. But again, a lot of little things took some time. Getting the trim up around the outside of the mezzanine, but it's looking pretty good. Still might need to come back in a couple places with some touch up. And I got my dehumidifier running down here because the humidity was pretty bad. I just rigged up a shelf with some leftover material, got it running, and like I said, I got the AC cranking in here, so it's nice. It's 75 degrees in here. It's 95 outside. All right, so when we come back, we'll be talking about these concrete floors.